Hey guys, Simple Chrome here. I wanted to do a maybe not so quick tutorial on how to use the sandbox and kind of walk through all that stuff. So we're going to go here. Okay, and I'm running this windowed because I'm going to be switching back and forth. Last time I tried to record it kind of screwed up. So in the sandbox, we have this line of text here which you can't edit or click on or anything, and we have this weird little console window up here, and not much else. So this console window, if you have the mouse over it, anything you type is going to be in here. If you don't have the mouse over it and you hit the brackets, you can make this window go bigger or go smaller. So the first thing we're going to do is, when you're in the sandbox, you have to remember the different modes. It's 1, 2, and 3. We're going to start off with 3. I'm going to hit the 3 key, and you can see that now we can see the little nodes on the blocks. These are we're now in build mode, so now we can edit all this stuff. And it's just like if you're in the constructor, you know, you can just do whatever you want with this stuff. Now 3 is the most handy. It's probably the reason you're going to come in the sandbox most often, because you need it for making a mod or maybe making a really complex tournament ship or something like that. Most of the time you're coming here to use build mode. So if I hit delete, I just clear this stuff out. And to actually make blocks, we're going to go palette in the faction number, which is 8. So now we have our normal Terran block set. And everything in here pretty much works the same way it would if you were using your regular constructor. You know, you can delete, duplicate, kill things, whatever you want. You can even duplicate your command module, which is something you cannot do in the constructor. So there we go, like that. If you want another faction, you just type in whatever number is. If you're making a mod, you would type in palette and whatever your faction number you're making for your mod, whether it's 21 or whatever. And then you would get your block set, and then you would start building your first ship. So the other way we can get things in here is, those are our blocks. Let's say we want to import a ship. I'm going to just type import. And then I get my window for, you know, just like you're going to do a normal ship import. So I'm going to grab this ship, and I have it in here. Now I can just edit and do whatever I want. You can also type in fleet palette. And then the faction. So let's see here's all the red ships. These are all the like default ones, and then these are from a mod. Those are like extra ones that are added. So yeah, here's all your default ships for this faction. So if you're making a mod, you just load in all your ships, and then you can edit them and then export them back out. So now we have blocks, we have ships. Let's say we made changes to this thing and we want to export it back out. We would just use export, ship name, and author. And there we go. Now this will appear, I guess I'll go this way. Here it is on our desktop as a file. So that's one way to get a ship. There's more than one way to export, and more than one way to import. So that was import. We did export. The other thing you can do is you can do save. And you'll see save goes to data ships, and then it made this convenient file name here, 3_dummy.lua. It's actually naming it exactly the way you would want in a mod is it if you were making a mod. So let's go here and find this thing. See, this is in your users folder, and under saved games, reassembly, and here's a data folder. And in this path to data folder, you have a ships folder. Save actually saves that ship in here. And you can see it named exactly the way you wanted a mod ship to be named. Faction number, underscore, and then the ship name. So save makes this convenient little ships folder with all the ships in it, which you can then just copy this and put it in your mod folder and you're ready to go. So if you were, let's say you were just building a ship and you just wanted to submit it to a tournament, or just make a file out of it, export is probably the easiest way to do that because it's just going to send it to your desktop. If you're making a mod with a whole bunch of ships, it's probably better you use save, because then it's just saving it to this convenient ships folder, and then you can grab that folder, copy it, and put it in your mod. So that's that. The other way to make a save is to just save the whole level. So our sandbox, here we have a sector. This little green marker here is the center of the sector. And I also have this blue mark. That's where things that I spawn in are going to spawn. So if I do, import, grab a ship, it's going to come in where that blue marker was. If I want, I don't have to save like just a single ship. I can actually save this entire collection of things, which, let's say I was, making a thing here, and I had a whole bunch of stuff on it, and I just wanted to save like all these little pieces, as I'm building a ship. Instead of just saving this one piece, let's save everything. Level save, and let's call it 999. So that's saved to data levels 999.lua. Saved all this stuff. So let's say I clear it. Killed everything in here. And then I do level load 999. Here's all my stuff back again. So you can just save your whole working environment here, which is convenient because in the constructor, if you exit out, you lose all these parts and everything that you built. So for example, if you're making really complex stuff and lots of variations of things, or you're building a faction, you have all your ships set up in one palette. Load. Oops. You can actually do gen too, gen level. Same thing, just easier to type. So here, I have all these variations of things. There's bits and pieces, parts, and everything is just, here's a thruster stack I set up. I have all this stuff. I don't have to rebuild it. I can just attach and, swap things around. So this is very convenient when you're building a whole bunch of stuff. You're not as limited as you are in the constructor. So that's the reason for wanting this. And these files, I keep doing this. These files are not located in the same spot the other stuff was. This is going to be in your Steam folder. So Steam, user data. Which one is 329.130 is Reassembly's Steam number. And in here, here's all a list of the stuff for your user. Here's all your saved games, a bunch of other junk. And here you have a folder for levels. In the levels folder, here's the level we saved. We've got a bunch of other levels in here, so you can make as many of these things as you need. I don't think there's a limit to how many numbers you can go up to, so, I mean, there probably is, but it's got to be quite big. So you can see, you can save like entire, like, you know, sandboxes full of stuff in here, and then just load it up whenever you want to work on stuff. So there you go. That's a lot of things you can do there. I'm going to do, actually, you know what I'll do? So we did import, we did exporting, we did all that stuff. Let's say I have this thing and I want to see it work. I type activate, and now this thing has AI. Doesn't have anything to shoot, but you know, it's got AI now. Another convenient thing about building in here is that you can see your max acceleration forward, and you can see your radius. If you're making stuff for like tournaments and like that, the max radius is usually 1,000, and your minimum acceleration speed for like NMSS tournaments is 159.2, I believe. So if you're building a ship, you can easily check it right here in your max acceleration forward. So, you know, you don't get that info if you're in the constructor. In the sandbox, it's really easy. So you have that. If I don't want this anymore, I can deactivate it. The only problem with deactivate is if you deactivate it and then try to activate it again, it's kind of dead. Or at least I believe so. Yeah, I crashed the game. So that doesn't work well. So, while that's syncing, let's see, we did pallets. And we did fleet pallets. Let's load this back up. I have Steam in the other monitor. I'm loading it up here. See it go. And then we'll go back in here. Okay, 3. Kill this. So fleet. We can also do fleet faction, and then we can do how many P worth of ships we want. So that's 2,000 P worth of ships. We can also do fleet 8,000, and I can define how many ships I want. So I want one 8,000 P ship. So there we go. We got one 8,000 P ship. Let's see, we did this. Oh, so this is, yeah, this is ship mode. If you're just clicking on the ship. I don't think I did this before. Let's do fleets. Okay. Do this again. So 3 was build mode. You can see now I can take parts off. 2 is ship mode, where you have, you know, everything's ships. And then if I hit 1 on the keyboard, now I'm actually flying this thing. So now I can actually pew 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 do all that crap. If I hit 3 again, now I'm back in build mode, and now I can edit blocks. So there we go for that. You know, it's handy for testing. Like if you're building stuff, then you might want to just go into it, see how the weapons work, try it out, and go back to building. Very good for testing. You can also, say you want actually something to fight, you just type agent, and it'll bring an agent ship. We can also do, let's say we want to test your region. Let's say here's region, let's do 7. See if I crash the game or not. There we go. And this is a, I believe it should be a fly region. Yeah, should be flies. So there's flies in here. We can clear, get rid of that. We do region. Let's do 11. Wait for it to load. There we go. Now this is crystalline. So there you can kind of test it. Doesn't, you know, it's not fantastic, but it loads in things. So you can test them out. You want an asteroid, which is sometimes good just to test your weapons to shoot at. Do 100. There's an asteroid. 100 is how big it is. If you want a, the other thing you can do in here when you're testing is you can directly do a CVAR. Let's say I want to do K block overlap equals 1000. So K block overlap, we're doing 1000. And it doesn't give you a terribly good idea of what just happened there, but if I'm in build mode, and I start grabbing things, oh, actually, that's a good way to do this. So the overlap CVAR. I don't think that worked the way I wanted it to. Well, anyway, you get the idea. I can do CVAR. What's the other one? Okay, right. This one. So I can do that CVAR. I can do right in here. I don't have to make like a separate mod and then reboot the game. I can do my CVARs right in the sandbox. Let's do this. The other thing you can kind of do is out of here. There we go. So what was I trying to do? Oh yeah, that's right. So the other thing I can do is copy. Oops. Let's say I want to rebuild this to a different faction. Faction 8 failed because probably one of these. Oh, actually that. Oh, it's got to be an actual ship. You annoying piece of crap. Alright, I think this will work. Here we go. Still didn't work. Oh, it doesn't like the light body work. Extremely annoying. Oh, actually, it's probably these two. Try it again. There we go. Refaction will change it from, you know, the bees. Now it's the Terrans. But you can see it's temperamental because it doesn't like switching blocks that do not match up with the other faction. So you kind of have to prep your hull if you're going to switch from one faction to the other. You know, if it's got squares and the other faction has squares, it'll work. If one faction is like all squares, the other one's like, you know, triangles and crap, it's not going to work. So the modules have to kind of line up when you do refaction. But if you're making a mod and you're making a couple different factions, you can kind of switch. And it's a nice easy way to rebuild your hull. So we did Sevar, we said that. If you type help, you can see there's like a ton of stuff you can do in your sandbox, and we're not even going to touch anywhere near all of it because it's just too much. But you have the general idea of how to get files in, how to get files out. You can, let's say you're too lazy or don't know better to hit the screenshot button, you can just type screenshot and there you go. There's your screenshot. sopen, I never use it because import's easier. There's all kinds of other stuff in here. But you did the stuff I use the most anyway. Palette, fleet palette, import, export, level save, level load, all that stuff, switching. You have enough, you can get yourself working. So if the one last thing to do is if you, though all that stuff does not only apply to the sandbox. That's what's in the sandbox is the engine of the game. So if we enter console anywhere, we can use all the same functions. Here I am at the intro screen, and we can type in palette 8, enter build mode, and here we can build our ship right in the intro screen. Do all of our stuff here. Maybe I want to spawn in an agent. There's our agent. And if we exit the console, we're back at our screen again. So all these functions that we're using in the sandbox apply to every place in the game. If we go to, oh, I guess I gotta exit back out. Our tournament, start a tournament. And we're in our tournament. We have all the same functions. I can enter build mode and do all kinds of stuff in here. I have all my same sandbox functions I can import and all this stuff. So you get the general idea. Oh, another cool thing that I forgot when I was in Sandbox is that you can do the debug. If you type debug, there's all these, you know, it's a debugger for the program. We have all these things we can do here. And the thing I like most of all to do is the debugging the AI. So if I type debug AI, I now get, oops, well, down, get out of the way. I now get a readout on what the AI is thinking here. So I can see attack dodges, I can see the resource capacity for the ship, what faction it is, and how many children it has. And down at the bottom I can see what it's thinking, the pathing, what it's targeting. So if you're having problems with AI or the mod you're making or something, the debugger mode can help a lot when trying to figure out what's going on the game's end. If you pop the AI screen up, it doesn't immediately turn off when you exit, so you have to type debugging AI again to get rid of those windows. There's also other stuff you can use the debugger for, is just checking the sectors and all kinds of other stuff, but we're not going to go through everything here. Just so you have a general idea that that's in here too. Exit out, and of course the other place you can, come on, do it up. The other place you can use all your sandbox skills is in the campaign, but I guess we crashed again. Let me get this back up. We're done syncing. Quite annoying. Yeah, I have Steam in the other, my other monitor. Just waiting for this to load. Come back up here. I'll start a new one. Generate the map. Alrighty. Let's get past this. Yes, 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 yes. So as your normal campaign, if you hit the backslash button for the console. Now we're in. Right now we're in mode 1 because we're controlling a ship. But if we hit 3, now we're in build mode. I can go here, edit stuff. I can get my palette. There's all my blocks. I can actually build right here in the campaign. Make a ship, whatever. Spawn an agent. Right here. All this stuff works. As you can see, the campaign map is just a interweave of sectors. So this is just multiple sandboxes all put together, and only the ones that are around the player are active. But you can see you can do everything that you had your sandbox skills. You can do them right here. I can just import a ship. Bring my ship right here, activate it. And there we go. Here's our ship we just pulled in. Maybe I want to drive this guy around. I hit 1 while he's selected. And now I can do this. And again, I can debug AI. I can see what the AI is thinking. If I exit the console, now back to normal. So you're gonna get an idea. The sandbox lets you do all this stuff. A lot of things that you just can't do anywhere else, and it's a direct interaction to pretty much everything that the game gives you. So hope that helps, and you know, enjoy.